Hey everybody, Tim here with today's review of Doctor Who, story number 40, The Enemy of the World. This was great. I loved this episode, this whole storyline. And I mean, to be honest with you, it's been kind of a while since I've said that about a Doctor Who episode. Most of them are pretty good, like I get it, because we're still in like the dark ages of Doctor Who, where there's a lot of incomplete stories and it's all black and white, and we're still not really into like the cliche Doctor Who type material. Like he's never talked about like Gallifrey specifically. He's never mentioned that he's a Time Lord. He's just this alien. We still haven't seen the sonic screwdriver, although it is coming up pretty soon. But this episode storyline was really, really good. It's kind of interesting to note, like this story, it kind of gives me hope, because for a long time, this story is 6 episodes long, and for a long time they were all missing. Like it was an incomplete story. It was only like the reconstruction and stuff like that. I think it was 2013, like not that long ago, just a few years ago, is when they actually discovered all of the missing episodes for this story, and they were able to kind of redo it, go frame by frame, like made it look amazing. Like I've seen newer movies look better than the way this looked. So it was great to actually sit there and watch it and see it like the way it was meant to be seen. So I love that. As of this story, we are now into 1968, which, I don't know, I just think it's kind of fun to keep track of, like, every time they go into the next year. So, overall, the story, I don't know, for whatever reason, it stands out to me because the story, like, has very little sci-fi action to it. Like, there's no aliens, there's nothing like that. I've said before how, like, Patrick Troughton is probably my favorite Doctor. I absolutely adore the second Doctor, and especially Jamie. He's a great companion. Technically speaking, if you just look at Doctor Who, like the classic series, Jamie was in more episodes than any other companion. In fact, he was in more episodes than any other person except for the first 4 Doctors. So he's like the 5th most like acting person in the series. So I think that's amazing. So in this one, Patrick Troughton really kind of shows his acting chops. Like he's a great actor in general, but the whole premise of the story is that there's this evil dictator, Salamander. I don't know where they got that name from. I don't know if that's a reference to something that's before my time or what. But I was like, Salamander? Really? And he's also played by Patrick Troughton. And so this is not the first time we've seen this. Even in a little bit of the William Hartnell, there were a couple of episodes where it's like, that guy just looks just like the Doctor. And they would kind of switch places and stuff like that. So it's nothing new. In fact, as we continue through Doctor Who, we'll actually see like guest star actors that later go on to play the Doctor. Most notably like Colin Baker or Peter Capaldi were actually actors in Doctor Who, and then they became the Doctor. So it's not really something new, and this is not a new concept of the Doctor switching places with people. But the fact that the Doctor is who he is, and then Salamander is supposed to be like Hispanic, and he has like this Mexican accent, like Patrick Troughton did a good job to me. Like I thought he was great. I love some of the throwaway lines they have, like when Jamie starts to work with Salamander, and he's like, get him an outfit, get him out of that skirt. Because the Doctor is always making fun of the fact that Jamie wears the kilt. And like part of that, like Jamie even looks down when he says it. And I know that Patrick Troughton and the actor that plays Jamie like would actually come up with different scenarios because they knew they wouldn't be able to do retakes. And part of me wonders if this is one of those moments where Patrick Troughton's like, hey, watch this will be funny. And then they couldn't redo the clip, so they just had to leave it in there. And it was great. It really made me laugh. So most of the episode, it's almost very James Bond-like, just watching the Doctor kind of go back and forth. We realize that Salamander's like this evil dictator. And then the big twist in like the last 2 episodes where it turns out that Salamander actually has like this secret civilization of like 30 people that have been living underground for years. And he's just like, there's a war going on and there's radiation and there's other stuff that you can't come out. And he's basically like enslaved these people. like that twist came out of nowhere, and I was like, the fuck is this? Like, it was really unexpected. And then to watch those people actually slowly come out of like this little cave, and they're like, oh, like sunlight, because they thought the world was just completely bombed. And then the doctor's like, nope, that was just Salamander working you guys and not like actually telling you. It was an interesting twist. Like, I was so, like I said, the first 4 episodes is all about Salamander, like, and his development, and then you get these 2 episodes of Salamander, like, keeping these people, like, a secret in a cave, and I was like, you know, I could have actually done more episodes. Like, you could have actually extended this out, and I would have been just fine with it. So, for those who have seen it, what did you guys think? I especially like the end when Salamander tries to impersonate the doctor, and he's like, Jamie, you do the controls, because he doesn't know what to do. And then that's when the doctor shows up. Like, that scene was great. So what did you think about Patrick Troughton and his, like, dual character in this storyline? What did you think about it overall? What did you think about, like, them still discovering missing episodes? Like, I seriously doubt that they'll ever discover all of the episodes. I do have hope that someday all of the missing ones will be animated, and so everything will be intact. But, like, do you guys remember when they announced, hey, we just discovered all of these episodes? Like I said, 2013. It was like 5 years ago. So, do you remember it? What did you think? Does it give you hope that more will be discovered? And if so, which episodes do you want them to rediscover? I've already said before, like, the Celestial Toymaker is my favorite story, and if they ever discovered anything, that's the one I would want them to discover or to just animate right away. What do you guys want to see? Thank you guys for everything, and I will see you guys next time for The Web of Fear.